And then for these next 6 problems, they want to figure out if they are similar. Again, because this first sheet is angle-angle postulate, I'm guessing if they are similar, they're going to be similar by angle-angle. And what we want to do, remember the three angles in a triangle have to add up to 180. Okay, so real quickly, let's take a look at this one right here. Watch. Real quickly, you should be able to find this missing angle. Just take 180 and then subtract out the 2 that we know. So if I take 180 and subtract out 35 and 73, I'm left with 72, right? And then I can do the same thing for this one to figure out the one that's missing. So that part you should remember from the first semester. So I know that's 72, right? And then I'm going to go through and do that to this one. So I know this one is 43, and then I'll show you why we do that. Okay, so we found the angles that are missing. So then I can go through and look at, let's say this triangle, and say, well, I know this angle is the same as this angle because they're both 43 degrees, right? And then I can say this angle is the same as this angle. And that pretty much is enough information to tell me those 2 triangles are similar, because all I need to do is find 2 pairs of congruent angles. Okay, and I found them. There's actually 3, because this third one is also congruent, but we don't need to include that one. We don't have to. So then we're going to write a similarity statement. If I write these angles from smallest to biggest, it goes CAB, so I'm going to say triangle CAB is similar to triangle, and then this one smallest to biggest, smallest, and then biggest is going to go X, Z, Y. And these are similar, and I can say by angle. Okay. I don't think it asks you to write why they're similar, it just says determine if they are. But if they are going to be, it's going to be by angle on this front side. So if we look at number 8, see we have this angle and this angle are congruent. But then over here we have 73, and then those are 73. And then over here we have 72, and then these are 72. So these 2 triangles are not similar. We have to at least be able to show 2 pairs of angles congruent. Oh, you can't see that because of my head. But you have to be able to show at least 2 pairs of angles congruent. See, we only had 1 pair. Over here we had 2 pair. Okay. So let's move on to number 9. So number 9, I'm going to find the third angle. And again, watch, just let me show you how I do that. So it's 180 minus 85 minus 45. So I know this bottom one is 50. And then to find this one, it's going to be 180 minus 50 minus 85. So again, I know this one is 45. And that's all I can do for that one for now. So then again, I look at this one, and I always like to go from smallest to biggest. So my smallest angle is 45 degrees. And then I look at this one, okay, that's 45 degrees. And then the next big one is 50 degrees. So the next big one here is 50 degrees. So I do have 2 pairs of congruent angles. So these are similar. Okay, now we just need to write the similarity statement. So again, I'm going to go to this one here, and I'm going to write them in order from smallest to biggest. J, K, L is similar to triangle Y, Z, X. And again, that's because we have 2 pairs of congruent angles. Okay? So pause that if you need to pause it. I'm going to keep going. And then whenever you have something like this, try to pull the 2 triangles apart. So this is the top triangle, J, N, K, and then the bigger triangle I know it looks different than that, but let's go with JML. Okay. Oh, you can't see that. Let me lower it. There you go. So the first thing you should say is, hey, that angle is congruent to that angle. And that's because it's the same angle. It's the shared angle, or it's a reflexive property actually. And then whenever you have parallel lines like this, that little arrow tells me those lines are parallel. So whenever you have parallel lines like this, and then what we have is another line. These two angles are congruent because they're corresponding angles. Yeah. So I know basically this angle K, here's K, is congruent to angle L, here's L, because they're corresponding angles. And there you go. I have two pairs of congruent angles. Now I don't know which one's smallest to biggest, so watch. Let me just I'm gonna write this one first. Triangle, and then I'm just gonna go 1 mark, 2 mark, no mark. J, K, N is similar to triangle 1 mark, 2 marks, no marks. J, L, N, and that's by AA. Right. Okay, so let me pause that if you need to. I'm gonna move it. So let's move to this one. Again, separate these two triangles. So the top triangle looks like this. Something like this. Right, where this is 50, this is 45, and then let me put the letters P, T, Q, and then the bigger triangle looks something like this. R, S, P. The top triangle, the top angle is the same, and then this bottom one is 85, right? So I'm gonna find the two missing angles. Let's find this one first. So I'm gonna do 180 minus 85 minus 50. So I know that's 45. And then I'm gonna find this one that's missing. 180 minus 50 minus 45. So I know that's 85. And it's real small, but they are congruent, because again, if I go from smallest to biggest, that 45 degree angle is equal to this 45 degree angle. This 50 degree angle is equal to this 50 degree angle. Okay, so there I found two pairs of angles that are congruent. So then when I write the similarity statement, I'm going to go with this one first. 45 is the smallest, then 50, then 85. So it goes Q, P, T, 45, 50, 85. S, P, R. Again by angle, angle. Okay. And then the last one, well, the last one on this page. The last one on this page. These two angles are congruent because they're vertical angles. Okay? Remember, whenever there's an X, the angles that are across from each other are vertical angles, and they're congruent. And then again, remember this this little arrow tells me these two lines are parallel. And we don't quite have this picture, but we do have this. Watch. We have this. These lines are parallel, and then we have something going across that way. This angle is congruent to this angle because these are alternate interior angles. Remember? Alternate interior angles. And alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay? So I know this angle is congruent to that angle. Now you can separate the triangles if you want, but I think, I mean, you could just do this. Look, that's one triangle. Okay, so when I write my triangle similarity statement, I'm going to go 1 mark, 2 mark, no mark. 1 mark, 2 mark, no mark. And that's similar to triangle 1 mark, 2 marks, no mark. And again, that was by angle.